What's up YouTube? Jeff back from Sammy Guru here, and today's a very exciting day for all of us Galaxy S25 series users out there. The update for April 2025 is now widely rolling out to Galaxy S25 users in the US, Europe, India, other regions, and the great news about this is it finally updates the S25 series to the quote-unquote stable One UI 7, which, I mean, they bring it in line with all of the other builds that they've pushed out recently to the S24, the Z Fold 6, Z Flip 6. Now, it's going to bring some changes that you probably like and some changes you might not. I'm going to go through everything I found that's new today, and then also what you can expect going forward in terms of performance with this particular update. Before we get started, remind you guys, make sure you check out our website, sammyguru.com. We cover the latest Samsung news, tips, tricks, tutorials, and reviews. We cover everything in breaking news format, so as soon as the news comes out, you'll be able to find it on our website. If you check the site daily, bookmark it, come back, you'll always get great updates like this. As soon as this was being pushed out to the US and Canada last night, I was downloading it at 1 a.m. in the morning, my time, and we were writing it up. So definitely check out the site. You can also get in our mystery box program. If you order an upcoming Samsung phone, you get a free case, cleaning kit, desktop phone stand. Tap on the phone you're interested in, put in your phone number, your email, or both, and we'll send those things out. We cover the shipping cost. All you have to do is use our affiliate link to order on launch day. It is US only because that's how we cover the cost, and obviously shipping would be very, very expensive if we did it internationally, but you pay absolutely nothing. The details and everything is in the pinned comment description if you guys are interested in that. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the update. Let me just get back out of the article because I can show you guys on this device. This is my unlocked US Galaxy S25 Ultra. Now, the carrier locked models started receiving the update actually a few days ago in the US. Carrier locked models seem to get it before the unlocked models now, unfortunately. But here's the build. It ends in AYD9, 728.23 megabytes here on my unlocked model, April 1st, 2025 security patch. Usual kind of jargon up here. You see stability and reliability, device behavior, security. You'll not be able to downgrade to the old software because it updates the security policy, and it kind of tells you everything in here. Now, we know from other users that there's not only some performance improvements, but also feature improvements, UI changes, and also some camera tweaks in this particular update. You can always tap on this link too, but in the case of this particular one, it doesn't really tell you too much about it. In fact, here it has the March security patch listed. Doesn't really have anything specifically about this one yet. Usually that page is behind. Of course, it also brings the latest security patches from Google and Samsung to fix all those vulnerabilities. All right, so let's get into the list of features. Usually I don't make a keep document checklist for a monthly security patch, but there's some things I didn't want to forget that I noticed with this particular update. The first one is app security options inside of the settings for privacy and security. So if you go into settings, if you scroll down to security and privacy, now going to app security here, you'll notice it says turn on app protection. Google Play Protect has been there on the S25 Ultra, but on the S24 series and the foldables who got the recent One UI 7, again, stable build, this feature was added. It's been added to the S25 as well. This is in partnership with McAfee, so you can decide if you want to turn this on or not. It will make it harder to install some apps, and if you sideload stuff like that, it's probably not a good idea to turn it on, but for the general users, it probably isn't a bad idea to go ahead and switch this on. You can always go back and turn this off. It's really not a problem. Go into app protection settings. You can turn this back off, or you can also use to auto scan apps daily, turn that on, and auto scan when installing apps. So you can turn this off if it's something that you don't need, but it has been added with the April update on the S25 series. The next thing is Media Player live notifications. Now, this is the feature I think that probably a lot of you were waiting on. If we go in here, and I don't want to get hit with a copyright violation, but if we go into my YouTube music, let's just turn some music on. I don't know, let's turn on some Exhibit here. And I back out. Now you're going to see your live notification up there. You guys can see it. You can tap on that. The animation. It's kind of hard to do behind the camera. The animation's fine. It's just, tricky to tap fastly behind the camera with the monopod right here. But you can see it does work perfectly. You've now got your live notification here in the notification shade. It also still lives over here in the quick settings panel as well. So if you guys like that, you get the best of both worlds. And of course, it's also still on your now bar, for instance, on the lock screen and things like that. So adding the live notifications is great. That also now works for YouTube as well. So if you want live notifications to control your media, I've tested it with other streaming services like Netflix and Hulu. Doesn't seem to work there yet. Let's actually just do a quick test. My buddy SakiTech, you guys, SakiTech's one of the best in the business when it comes to Samsung. I was checking out his video earlier on stuff. You guys can see right there it is on YouTube. Samsung dropped the brilliant One UI 7 update. This one's about the quick connect for devices up here, all your nearby devices. I was gonna make a piece on that too. Great video that Saki did. You guys can see how it works there with the YouTube notifications as well. The next thing is the fatter battery icon. So some people are either going to love this or you're going to hate it. I am really, honestly, not a big fan about it. I was facetiously posting on X that I really love it, but I really kind of don't. I kind of like the slimmer one that the S25 Ultra had in the beginning. But you can see when you pull it down, it actually does get a little smaller when you go into the quick settings. You guys can see that. But it's definitely chunkier, shorter, fatter, rounder, whatever you want to call it. Some people say it's more readable, which I guess I understand if that's the reason that you like it. Maybe if you have poor vision. I mean, I use glasses and I could still see the other one. But anyway, that is there. Like it or not, that's been changed. It was there on the S24 build, on the Z Fold 6, the Z Fold SE build that I got as well. So Samsung is going that direction. It's not a mistake. Now, we also have the Now Brief has a couple of changes. First of all, you'll notice that they've added some new text here to the Now Brief. Sometimes this will have more descriptive text, like instead of saying morning brief, I actually took some screenshots earlier because I knew that as soon as I made this video, it would change back to saying morning brief. And so I was like, people are gonna think I'm lying. So here, I've seen a lot more varied text in the morning. So here it said sunny morning. Here it says time to shine. They've kind of changed up the variants of the text. Before it was pretty much always morning brief, midday brief, you know, evening brief, and then like night owl or whatever. But now they've changed up some of that a little bit. And they've also added 2 new features to the content to include in the Now Brief. So if you go to the Now Brief in your settings and then scroll down, keep in mind Now Brief is still exclusive to the S25 for now. It'll come to older devices with One UI 8. Tap on content to include, you now have these 2 new options: blocked messages, which will show you a summary of blocked messages in your Now Brief, and battery status, which will show your battery status in your Now Brief. So you get some information about your battery in there. So I've yet to see either of these 2 appear. I actually blocked some message numbers and sent messages from my own numbers to see how that appears later in the day, hopefully. And then battery status, I'm not sure yet what that will look like, but as soon as I get a Now Brief that shows this, obviously I'll probably make a post over at Sammy Guru, maybe another video if it's worth it, but at least a post. One other thing that I noticed when I first got this update is there's also an information about the Now Brief, and I didn't even know this before, but the Now Brief can actually be accessed from the Edge panel. I thought this was new, but it's actually been there before. You can tap on this icon in the Edge panel and get your Now Brief. I had absolutely no idea that that was there before, but apparently it is something that we've had for a little bit at least, and is not part of the April update. The last one I want to show you guys is the new battery animation. So here, the charging animation. Let me just plug in a cable here to my Basis power bank, which I showed you guys in a previous video. This is a wireless MagSafe power bank, but you can also use it for wired charging. And so there's the charging animation when you've got the screen off. Let me go back and do the one that's actually new. Turn the screen off on accident. Here's the one here with the screen on. You guys can see it right there. I kind of prefer the other charging animation, but this one is still pretty nice. I'll do it one more time so you guys can take a look at it. And there it is. So that's the other change that we have, improvement with the April 2025 update for the Galaxy S25 series. Now, in terms of stability and performance, I haven't noticed any hiccups. I've only had it, less than 12 hours. Battery life, again, it's impossible to say with less than 12 hours of use, but it does seem pretty nice. It brings it in line with all the features that were on the newer builds that actually were newer in terms of feature sets for the S24, etc. Some nice stuff here. I do like having the live notifications, obviously for media. That's a big thing. I'm not a huge fan of the battery icon. The charging animation is good. I like the other one slightly better, but it's not a bad thing. Improving Now Brief is obviously great. Let me know if you guys have seen any other changes, things like that have come with this particular update. I haven't really noticed any other big feature enhancements. Make sure you check for all of your updates on the Galaxy Store because there are some apps to update afterwards. Make sure you check for a Google Play System update. I didn't have one, but you may have one if you haven't checked in a while. And again, go to the Galaxy Store and just make sure you update all of your applications here. Sometimes there's apps to update after something like this, like a big monthly security patch. Anyway, appreciate you guys checking out the video. Make sure you check out sammyguru.com for up-to-minute coverage of all the update news, upcoming devices. Check out the mystery box program if you're going to be buying S25 Edge, Z Fold 7, or Z Flip 7. Let me know how you guys are getting along with the new update as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.